All right, what's better to build muscle? Weight training or bodyweight training? This is a question I get frequently asked and that I ask myself very often. In fact, I've done an experiment where I trained only with my own body weight for an entire year. And in this podcast episode, I will share my results and give you a recommendation in what situation bodyweight training or then weight training makes more sense. Now, first and foremost, we need to know what it takes to build muscle mass. There's a few things that need to be aligned when your goal is growing muscle. First and foremost, we need to eat in a caloric surplus, meaning we need to provide our bodies appropriate macronutrients and calories to build muscle mass. If there's no energy to build muscle, then you cannot grow muscle. If there's not enough building blocks, also known as proteins, then you will fail in this process. It's simple. You need to eat enough calories. You need to eat adequate amount of proteins. Then we also need plenty of water. It's oftentimes neglected, but water is very important when it comes to building muscle, and by the way, also when it comes to losing body fat. Then we need recovery time, the rest days, the sleep, because as you know, growing muscle doesn't happen in the gym, but on the other hand, when you rest, when you sleep. So recovery is another important factor. Last but not least, we need to break down our muscle fibers and really put this muscle building signal on our body. There's different ways to make this happen. You can go to the gym, lift some weights. So regular weight training, you can use a TRX band or resistance bands. You can do that with your own body weight, calisthenics, street workout, and all the other names that basically just stand for bodyweight training. You can literally use anything you want. You can get a workout in with stones. You can get a workout in with water bottles. Because at the end of the day, resistance is resistance, and your body doesn't really know whether you have a dumbbell in your hand or a stone. It's just like weight, it's resistance. Okay? So I want to make this very, very clear. Now, today I want to speak about two of those modalities, weight training and bodyweight training. Specifically, I want to address the question, which one is superior when it comes to building a muscle mass? Now, I want to start with the pros of bodyweight training. So bodyweight training, when you literally work out using your own body weight, it has the huge benefit that you can do that wherever you want and whenever you want. Whether you're at home, whether you're outdoor, whether you're in a hotel room, you can literally get a great bodyweight workout in wherever you want. Okay? Also, whether it's night or day or evening, like, you're so flexible. You're really freaking flexible. Doesn't require a lot of planning, doesn't require any equipment. You can do it anywhere. Okay? I think also bodyweight training are great to get started when you just want to start out, when you are not sure yet whether you want to go to the gym, whether you like the vibe in the gym. Bodyweight is an inexpensive way to get started. Okay? Bodyweight training also allows you to build muscle and improve your strength endurance. Okay? You typically build a very strong core when you do a lot of bodyweight training. This comes down to the fact that bodyweight exercises are oftentimes full body exercises. Meaning when you do a push-up, when you do a squat, when you do even a lunge, a plank, oftentimes you do not only use one particular muscle, but literally your entire body. Okay. And because you use your core and your abs so often, you will develop a really strong core. Now, bodyweight training can also be adjusted to any kind of fitness level. Someone who starts out might start with doing push-ups with knees on the ground. After that, you can progress and do regular push-ups. After a while, you put your feet on a chair to just make it harder. Eventually, you will do handstand push-ups or whatnot. There's like exercises that suit any fitness level. That's great. It also allows you to learn great skills. I just mentioned one, handstand push-ups. It's like so cool to watch. Others are the muscle up, the front lever, all these cool bodyweight skills. You learn them by obviously working out with your own body weight, right? Last but not least, bodyweight workouts can be done without any problems in groups. Yes, of course, you should have the same fitness level, but bodyweight workouts can be set up in groups. For example, you do simply a circle with other colleagues and friends. You start with one exercise, and therefore you can motivate each other. You can keep each other accountable. And also because you don't have an equipment, let's say you don't need a machine or a specific dumbbell, you can do the exercises at the same time, which is great. So bodyweight training has certainly its benefits. And personally, I'm a fan. As said earlier, I would do a lot of bodyweight training. I still do, by the way. Nowadays, I mix weight training and bodyweight training. But generally speaking, I'm a fan of bodyweight training. Now, the problem with street workout, calisthenics, bodyweight training is that it's very difficult to overload the muscle. It's very difficult to challenge specific muscles because when you get more advanced, at some point, you cannot really make the exercise any harder. So let me give you an example. Let's say you want to do push-ups and you want to challenge your chest and your triceps and your shoulders even. Now, you start with doing 10 push-ups. A week later, you do 12, eventually 15, 20. And after a while, you can do 50 repetitions easily, and it's no longer challenging for your body. Now, we know in order to achieve muscle growth, hypertrophy, the rep range 8 to 12 repetitions is ideal. Now, if you can rep out 50 reps of push-ups, you're not really going to get the same effect. It's no longer in this hypertrophy / muscle building range, and therefore muscle growth may slow down or doesn't even happen anymore. Okay. Another disadvantage of bodyweight training is that it's very hard to isolate a certain exercise. Let's say you want to work out your chest. Now, what comes to mind? Push-ups, dips, and soon enough, you don't know any further exercises. Now, these exercises are great, don't get me wrong, but they also work other muscles in your body. When you do push-ups, for example, you also have your triceps included, okay, your arms. Now, it could be that your chest is strong enough and could go on doing push-ups, but your triceps is weak and therefore you fail. Meaning you achieve failure with your triceps. That's after, let's say, 20 reps, and your chest still has capacity, meaning you don't get this muscle building signal for your chest because you didn't challenge the chest. Does that make sense? You can do other exercises. For example, you do the dips, but they're exact the same problem. You do dips and you want to work on your chest, but your triceps gives up earlier, and therefore you don't get this muscle building signal. And this is a problem, okay? Because we really want to challenge the muscles. We really need to challenge the chest when we want it to grow, okay? Now, let's have a look at weight training, pros and cons, and then I go into the recommendation and speak out what I think of the two. So, what's the pros? When you do weight training, you actually can do that as a beginner or as an advanced athlete. There are exercises for any fitness level, okay? You can use lighter weight, heavier weight, depending on how strong you already are. You can target specific areas, meaning when you do chest exercises, there are tens, probably hundreds of different exercises that you can do specifically for the chest. And here's the huge advantage. You can literally use or make the exercise adjusted so you only target the chest with as little triceps constraint as possible. So you find exercises that only work on your chest, and now you can really target the chest without having your triceps included. That may fail first, okay? Weight training is also beneficial because you can easily measure progress. I can say, okay, today I'm going to work out with 20 kilograms dumbbells. Next week, I use 22 kilograms. So, you know, you got stronger, you challenged your muscles. Very, very easy to measure, okay? You also have a lot of variety. When we speak of weight training, this could include any machines. This could include dumbbells, barbells, kettlebells, and therefore also the exercises you can do, like just like huge variety, okay? And therefore perhaps it's not as boring as just like bodyweight training, but this is just like a personal preference, because it's more diverse. You can do different stuff, okay? Weight training is also a proven way to build muscle. Our athletes do it since like forever. Olympians do it, like gym goer do it, obviously for aesthetic reason. Athletes do it, and we know if you do weight training and combine that with an appropriate diet, then you will gain muscle mass 100%. Now, the disadvantage of weight training, obviously, you need equipment, you need a gym, you need a home setup, you need dumbbells, and this means financial investment, okay? And other downside is that weight training is more difficult to do with a partner, because your partner might have a completely different fitness level. He's maybe a beginner and you're a more advanced athlete / gym goer. And as you know, all the workout programs, they need to be customized. They need to be adjusted to your fitness level. You cannot just copy a workout program of a pro, of a professional bodybuilder, let's say, or of an athlete and try to mimic it. It will not work. You also always need to adjust the workouts to your fitness level. And if you want to do that with a partner, this could be a challenge, okay? And then, of course, you depend on your partner. Is he on time? Does he have the same schedule and so forth? I think you get the point. Now, back in 2014, I did a self-experiment. What I did in 2014, I just came back from Santa Monica, where I spent 7 months, I believe. And I decided that I would sign up for a membership in a CrossFit gym and then just work out using my own body weight for a year straight. Before that, I would often do weight training and bodyweight training, and then I decided to give it a go. I want to do it for 1 year, bodyweight training only. Now, reflecting this specific year of doing bodyweight training only, I could notice the following results. To my surprise, and probably also to yours, my strength increased slightly. Now, how did I measure that? I remember that I deadlifted I cannot remember the number actually, but it was the deadlift I used as measurement. And I remember that I could improve my deadlift by 50 kilograms. Okay. Actually, I have written it down somewhere. Here. I did 100 kilograms for 8 to 10 reps before that year. After this year, I was able to lift 130 kilograms for 5 reps. At the time, I was 60 kilograms, so it was more than double my body weight. So, yeah, I was quite impressed about that. I could increase my strength. I also mastered some awesome skills, like the iron cross on the rings, handstand push-ups, the L-sit, the straddle planche, and all these names that you're probably not aware of, but I could do some really cool stuff, and some of it I still can do, so that's awesome. I also reached a pretty low body fat percentage. This comes down to the fact that I just worked out a lot, that I trained hard, that I was active all the time, and obviously diet played a factor too, but I got really, really lean. I also gained crazy core strength. As I told earlier, all these bodyweight exercises, they require your core to be active. And therefore, after this year, my core got really, really strong. Okay. On the downside, during that year, I lost muscle mass. Okay. This was probably due to the fact that I didn't do a lot of isolation exercises. So again, there's not the exercise where I say I'm just going to work out my biceps, because if I do chin-ups or pull-ups, there will be like back and other muscles involved. And I also didn't really focus on hypertrophy training, on building muscle, and therefore I lost muscle mass. So I really lost, I cannot remember, but looking at pictures, I would say 5 kilograms or so. Yeah, I lost that. Okay. Now, reflecting it, it was great. I even gained some strength. I felt good. I looked good. Looked really lean. But also, I did lose some muscle mass. So, what's the bottom line here? If we only look at building a muscle mass and not take skills, fun, etc. into consideration, then I think it's safe to say that weight training is superior. Provided you have equipment, of course. Because if you don't have equipment, then go with bodyweight exercises. Strength training, however, has been proven over and over again. It allows you to track progress, to measure your progress. You can do both full body exercises and isolation exercises. You can do it as a beginner, as an advanced athlete, and it's great to build muscle. Now, does that mean that bodyweight training is completely useless? No, absolutely not. You can actually gain muscle, especially when you're a beginner. But you will get to the point where it gets more and more difficult, especially when you get stronger and you master the basic movements. Okay. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself what you actually enjoy more, because as we know, that's very, very important. You shouldn't do something that you don't enjoy, because then it's just a matter of time until you quit. You should also ask yourself what your goal actually is. Is it actually gaining muscle mass? Is it just being in shape, having fun? And then also how much time you want to spend. Okay. Now, if your goal is building muscle mass and you want to do this as effectively as possible in as little time as possible, then go with weight training.